What's up? What's up, guys? So, been a long time. I feel like it's been a long time since I've just sat and talked to the camera. Last time was when I was in Cupertino. Since then, a couple things have changed around the world. So, today actually though, I wanted to take a second and talk about some of the stuff I've learned over the course of COVID, especially one specific thing. And if you listen to our podcast, the Almost Dropouts that I did with my friend Davik, you might have heard me talk about this already. But I feel like it's something that is really important to talk about, and that is I've discovered in my life, and then I hope it can provide some value to other people. So what I want to talk about is the idea of earnest inaction. Okay, so what does that mean? So this all really started when I saw a quote on Instagram. It was one of those Tumblr things where someone had said, if you're not coming out of this crisis with a side hustle or more knowledge or a business or something, you didn't lack time, you lack discipline. And then the next person commented, they crossed out that last part and they said, if you didn't come out of this crisis, blah, 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 without any of that stuff, you're doing completely fine. We're going through this international crisis and not everyone has the opportunity to make this into something fun and entertaining. And I started thinking a lot about that quote because I both agreed and I disagreed with it. So, or let me say it like this, I agreed with parts of it and I disagreed with parts of it, right? So, here's what I thought. I think that the power of solitude and silence is something that is lost in today's world, especially for myself, right? And I've learned from the readings and just people who I really appreciate that what happens when you take a minute to zone everything out and get rid of all the voices that are usually in your head, from the media, from your friends, from Instagram, from blah, 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 you just get silence. You can start contending with your own ideas and your own feelings. The thing is, that is a really, really difficult thing to do in today's days and age. Very difficult. I struggle with it a monumental amount, right? So you'll notice there's periods when I'm on Instagram and then entire months where I'm not. And it oscillates because I find Instagram to be this platform where I either get saturated with information to the point that I can't hear my own thoughts, so I have to get rid of it entirely. And then there's periods of just complete silence where I'm not on any social media, so I can hear my own creativity, my own thoughts about what's important. Now, the reason I make that argument, though, the reason I say that, is because you might be able to hear my mom screaming at my brother right now to get food, but that's besides the point. The reason I make that point, though, is that this period of COVID has given us an opportunity, I think, or has given me, let me say, an opportunity to really go and do that. Really have that sort of silence. The problem is that I find it way easier to be on Instagram until 2 a.m. than to actually use that level of silence, right? And so I'm struggling with finding that balance. But let's go back to that quote, right? Because the point I was trying to make is that I agree with the notion that if you didn't come out of this with more knowledge or a side hustle or whatever, that you didn't lack time, you lack discipline. I do believe in that. That's true, right? So often we say we want to achieve these great things, but now in a period where for a lot of us, we have the opportunity to do that. Not all, right? I know there's people out there who are currently having a hell of a go at it or who are working, are essential workers and stuff, and those people are doing exactly what they need to do. If what you need to do is take care of your family or to go to work so that the rest of society can function, then you're doing exactly what needs to be done. And that's the point I'm trying to make. That we should all be doing exactly what we need to be doing during this time. And I don't say that from a preachy point of view. I used you, but really I was talking about my own thoughts with myself, right? Yeah, I think in the third person. What's up? So what I was thinking is that I need to do what is best for me. I need to do what I always said I was going to do. Now, that's where I agree with that quote, right? That you don't lack time, you lack discipline. Because it's true. I could just get off Instagram. I could not be on it till 2 a.m. I could do those things. And I need to push myself to better myself, to then put my energy into the things that I need to be doing to reach the level of success that I want to reach, or to manifest the things out of my life that I want. But the second part to that, where the second person said, you know, it's okay if you're not doing anything, this is where I agreed with it. That we should be spending right now doing exactly what we always promised ourselves we would do when we had time. And if that means that you have always promised yourself that you were going to rest and recover and take time for yourself, that is what you should be doing right now. That is what you should invest your time in. And there should be no judgment on the fact that you're recovering. In fact, if you're being intelligent, you're being smart, what you recognize is recovery is proper recovery is the foundation to any sort of building process. Whether that's literally a building, like you have to set a foundation and you have to let it sit, you have to let it rest, or whether that's weight training, right, which is always a great proxy for life, where the most amount of important work happens when you're sleeping, when you're resting. But this is why I said earnest inaction, right? Because bringing it back to myself, if what I promised myself to do was rest, there is no reason I should be on Instagram till 2 a.m. Because what I'm doing is I'm filling my head with these voices that are not allowing me to do the actual thing I need to do, which is rest. There's nothing stopping a lot of us right now from going to bed at 9 a.m. There's nothing stopping me from going to bed at 9 a.m. But 9 a.m. Not 9 a.m. 9 p.m. But besides my own lack of discipline. And that's where I think those two ideas kind of come together and meld together, right? I think in life you have to do the best with the cards dealt to you. And there's a very respectable aura about that you did the best with what was given to you. And I think if I do the best with what's given to me in life, it is almost a foregone conclusion that I will be successful, right? And right now the cards dealt to a lot of us are stay at home. And this is just your time, right? If you're not in a position, like I said, where you're having to take care of family, or someone's ill, or you're not an essential worker, okay, so what am I doing with this time? And the thing I want to stress is that if what I need to do with this time for myself is rest and recover, I need to be earnest in my inaction. I need to be genuine. I need to put down my goddamn phone and stop doing, and not engage in the 100 other things I do to distract myself from what I really need to do, which is rest. Or if what I need to do is start that side hustle, is educate myself in those things I was always interested in, I need to set aside the distractions that are preventing me from doing that. And so, I just thought I wanted to come out and make this video because I had this idea that I thought was really relevant. It really changed my perspective in my own life. And I think it's something a lot of people may benefit from, which is just be earnest in your action. Whatever that action is, be earnest in it. If it's a build up, be earnest in that build up. If it's a breakdown, be earnest in that. And I think that'll help us all get through this fascinating time a little bit better. So until I see you guys next time, take it easy. Peace.